Hey guys, this is a quick down and dirty review of the Crispi Anchor Point. It is a Wildland firefighting boot by the company Crispi. It retails for $420 US and is a mountaineering slash hiker style Wildland firefighting boot. The boot included in the box was a sticker as well as your order invoice. Not really anything besides that, just pretty standard. First impressions of the boots, and something that has lasted throughout the season of using these boots, is quality materials. These boots have stood up to the rigors of my job of the fire season. They still have plenty of good tread on them, and just quality materials, quality craftsmanship. Another thing that I really appreciate about the Crispi Anchor Points is the toe rocker that is part of the sole. So basically, if anybody's familiar with running shoes, there's a company called Hoka, and similarly to how the Hokas kind of rock forward at the end of the step, these boots kind of have that same just kind of rock forward at the end of your step, which is really nice. It makes it really comfortable and easy to hike in these boots. The boots, unlike your traditional loggers, do have a much shorter break-in period. I know, for example, with Nicks, Whites, JKs, the break-in period can be pretty extensive. With these, you can get them going, get them pretty comfortable in about a week or two of, really wearing the boots and getting them worn in. One thing to note, though, is you're still going to get those hot spots, maybe some heel lift with the initial break-in of these boots. It's just not going to be as uncomfortable as, your traditional logger style boots. Some pros for these boots is going to be their craftsmanship. Throughout the entire fire season, I only had one failure, and that was the right boot lace just snapped, and that's something that happens with just about every boot out there. And that's not necessarily the boot's fault itself. It was just that a shoelace snapped on the fire line. No big deal. Another thing that these boots really have going for them is their weight. Each boot is about 2.1 pounds for a size 10, according to Crispi's website, which makes them very easy to keep on your feet all day, very comfortable. Another thing that these boots have going for them compared to some of their mountaineering slash hiker style competition would be these boots are not hot on your feet. They're pretty comfortable. I know, for example, comparing them to the Scarpa Fuegos, which is another Wildland firefighting boot, these boots are a lot more comfortable and a lot cooler. I know that those boots can get pretty hot on your feet. One of my favorite things about these boots is the amount of lateral support that you get on your ankles. As you can see, the boot wall itself is pretty thick. It makes these pretty comfortable when you're side hilling or putting in check line, on the side of a pretty steep hill. It keeps your ankles happy, and that's something that I've definitely appreciated with these boots this season. Now, let's move on to some of the cons. Some of the cons of this boot, first and foremost, was the insole that came with these boots out of the box was rather cheap and flimsy. I would definitely recommend upgrading to something like Dr. Scholl's or Superfeet. As you can see here, I put in some generic memory foam style insert, and that made these boots significantly more comfortable. But that's just something to note. You will want to upgrade that insole if you do end up buying these boots. Another thing that I did notice right here towards the end is just a tiny amount of cracking in the leather on the back here. But nothing like delamination, anything of that sort. The boots have held up pretty well, and I believe the soles are rated to 300 degrees according to Crispi. So delamination hopefully isn't something that you have to worry about with these boots. It wasn't anything that I had to worry about through my season, so hopefully you experience the same if you pick these boots up. Overall, I would definitely recommend these boots to anybody who's interested in them. I know that the price of them is pretty steep, $420, but I do believe that you get what you pay for. They're a pretty high quality and stout boot, and I believe they're more than capable of doing the job.